Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen and others? We're on our way to helping out the. And if we want to avenge the fallen death of the angels, to even try to remotely get the key, we're gonna have to help them out. But it's actually, this is a pretty fun section. So this is part of the game to kind of like be your, at least this section used to be like a slight turn section. It's actually pretty fun. So it does break up the monotony of you always hacking and slashing. So it is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I remember having a blast in this section back on the 360 era. So go ahead, take your time. Well, not too much time. Start blasting away, and then you'll get to the main objective that's in this part of the game. But here's the thing, you're gonna have to help out the angels in order to do it. But the other guys, well, they're in hell. So if you want to do everything, again, just follow the main story path. You'll be fine. You'll be good to go. And it is actually cool to be back on, again, quote unquote, Earth. So you kind of see a little bit of what people were talking about when War came in accidentally in Darksiders 1, which this is, yes, in place of Darksiders 1, but you have to remember this. Technically speaking, this is, at the end of the day, a game that is set parallel between 1 and 2. Even the angel you helped out in Darksiders 1, she even states to you that I should kill you for what War did. But since you helped us, I'm not going to. Despite the fact some people might say that, hey, shouldn't she already know that War helped her out? Well, nah. Technically speaking, depending on the timeline, this is supposed to end before Darksiders 1, and technically speaking, it can't be around when Darksiders 3 happens. In the current timeline. So, if you play the games, think about it this way. The introduction, the prologue section to Darksiders 1 with War, being summoned, that is the part of the game you start off with. But then, once he's defeated and is scolded by, the Charter Council, he's pretty much in prison for a while. Hence why people say that Death is trying to prove War's innocent for starting the war, starting the apocalypse, all this other stuff. That's like, yeah, he didn't start this. However, that's not what heaven and hell are agreeing upon. They believe War did this, hence the Charter Council's like, you are now in prison. And once War is finally like, alright, War will give you all this, all that crap yet. You have to remember, he's in prison for crimes he didn't believe he'd commit, because he truly believed that the seals were broken, and that I was summoned in order to do this. So, that's why. You gotta remember that. Alright? So far, while he's in prison, Death goes to the Crowfather and truly believes that his brother is innocent, and I need to prove it. Oh, that's right. That used to be. Ha 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 ha. I forgot. This when you do get to Earth, this used to be the Easter egg reference we got for Vigil games and THQ. Now it's being made by Gunfire games and published by THQ Nordic. So I forgot about that. I truly did. Anyways, long story short, this game takes place after, during-ish, and then before.
There are things that lurk beyond these barricades that the Hellguard dare not...
And the remaining rod pieces. Do they...
Yes. Pass through the city, and you will find the next piece beneath the earth, in an old abandoned tunnel.
Where will I find them?
I do not know. But the rod has...
And then when you start Darksiders 3, it's still during the time War is in prison. But mostly this is like you taking place on Earth, but also going in between Hell and then back to Earth. I don't think do you ever go to? I'm trying to remember, do you ever go to Heaven? third game. Okay. But that's why we call these games parallel games. Yes, technically speaking, 1 is sometime after, or slightly in between the events of 2 and 3, but you gotta remember, the horsemen are kind of separate. That is, until the seal, the final seal in the first game is broken, then you see all the horsemen, like the war goes. Though, to be fair, no one knows where Strife is at this point. Heck, literally both you and Ward get the gun. But technically speaking, Darksiders 2 is like you to revive me. And not to mention, to bring back humanity. So it's a little bit confusing, but you'll figure it out when things are going into place. And now we're done. Guns from the last game, but just way better. And I just died, mother of God, no. don't ask us why Virgil lost the scroll, all the pages of the Book of the Dead. Doesn't make sense to me, but if one way to get some XP, maybe get yourself a new weapon or two. There you go. And you are a moving on. Onwards. Alright, let's try this section again. No.